Come explore the unknown with us and enter the Chamber of Shadows. I am your host, Selene, and I am joined by my co-host, Endora. Say hi, Endora.
Good evening, Spooky Fam. What are we doing today?
So, I'll go ahead. I have a lot of comments on this case, but I'm going to go ahead and do my intro and we'll go from there.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Most people couldn't fathom a ghost Aiden in the conviction of their murderer. In fact, this is something that most likely wouldn't hold up in a court system in today's time. But that's not to say that it's never been done, successfully at that. Today, we're going to take a look at a murder case of a woman in 1897. We'll explore how her spirit is said to have returned from the beyond, exposing a deadly secret. Night after night, whispering the truth is what led to one of the strangest trials in American history that is known today as the chilling tale of the Greenbrier Ghost.
Just from my neck of the woods.
Oh my gosh. I cannot emphasize. This is one of those cases that it's very, very, very important to do thorough research because there were some sources that were saying one thing and then another source that was saying something else. And I mean, there's even from what I got, there's still so much more to dig up. Like every time I looked somewhere, there was something else that I could be talking about. But you know this case. We were actually on the phone earlier trying to figure this topic out of spirits coming back and convicting their murderers.
Well, yeah, because everybody wants to say there's only one.
But
And
there's not.
clearly there's a bunch.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so how this came about, just for listeners' sakes, you had mentioned the Greenbrier Ghost and doing it for some of the Halloween episodes that we're now releasing, because by the time this releases, we'll be in October.
Spooky season.
Uh, so you had mentioned the Greenbrier Ghost and, you know, the conviction coming from beyond the grave. And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. And I had, to be fair, I had heard of the Greenbrier Ghost, but the case that I was thinking of was not the Greenbrier Ghost case. The case that I was thinking of was actually a case that Amy Bruni and Adam Berry covered on Haunted Road. So when I was doing the research, I was going through and I was like, this is not what I remember, but maybe I just remembered wrong. Because I remember them saying as well, something along the lines of it being the only time that somebody was convicted by a ghost or the testimony of a ghost. It was something along those lines. I'd need to re-listen to the episode anyways, but so then I realized that today as I was finishing up research, I was like, oh, this is why it's different, is because two totally different cases. So I know you and I had talked about maybe making this more, if we can find more, which I think we can find more of cases like this, spirits coming back and talking about their murders.
That's right. Yeah, I'm into it. I think we should do a series for sure. I do.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got one more because I want to talk about the one that Adam and Amy talked about. And when I looked it up earlier, I found one link that was like, oh, 6 ghost stories that yada, yada, yada. So I think that'd be super fun, super interesting. I didn't realize that this was a thing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this case in particular stuck out to me. A, because I was born in West Virginia, but B, because it was in Greenbrier, which in the
Mhm.
90s was a huge that was big in the news because we discovered that our president and his cabinet and all of Congress and the House can all go hide underneath the Greenbrier Hotel because there's like a giant underground where they can live. If we get attacked, they'll be fine. Don't worry. Yeah, they're under some of
Well,
that.
and I'll get into this later too, but it seems like there's kind of a lot in reference to Greenbrier. You also mentioned earlier that your grandmother was alive at the time of the Greenbrier case, but you didn't know
Hmm.
it. So, um,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's go ahead. I want to talk a little bit about two people before we get into everything that happened. So, the first person I want to talk about, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, but his actual name is Erasmus Stribling Shoe. However, in this case, we will be calling him either Trout or Edward because that those are two of the names that he went by.
Wait, he let
Yeah.
people call him Trout? That's
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
Like a lot of the things that I found, he was referred to as Trout.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't think I'd
Yeah.
like it if people called me that, but all right.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
So, he was born in 1861. He died at the age of 39 in 1900. He was born in Mount Solon, Augusta, Virginia, and he died in Moundsville, West Virginia. He had two previous wives. One was Allie Esteline Cutlip, which she eventually got married again after him. But they did have a daughter together. They got married November 24th in 1885 in Greenbrier, West Virginia. He also was married to a woman named Lucy Ann Tritt. This was his second wife. She died in April of 1895. She is said to have tripped and hit her head on a rock. Now, Edward slash Trout. I don't know what I'll probably call him. I'll use one of those throughout this because I used both names. But he was described to be a big, powerful man, and he was full of charm. He had black hair, blue eyes, and was described to be very handsome. He eventually, it was a year after his second wife died. Actually, he met a woman by the name of Elva Zona Heister. Now, as far as I'm gonna call her Zona because that's what a majority of people call her. As far as Zona's birth year, this was something that I was getting a little confused. There was, I think, her stone, or at least pictures of her gravestone that I saw said 1876, but there were other reports of her birth year being 1873. So I'm guessing that at the time of her death, which was in 1897, that's the year that all of this is gonna take place, um, she was somewhere between the age of 21 to 23 years old. Not a lot is known about her. We do know that she seemingly never left Greenbrier County. We know she was a middle child, she had 4 brothers, and we know that she actually had a child out of wedlock with a man by the name of George Woldridge. Now Woldridge.
Scandal.
Yeah, literally. We know that Woolridge didn't have any money or much of a job, and he couldn't support a wife or family, so he didn't. We don't know what happened to her baby. There are no documented reports of the baby beyond its birth. It just simply vanished.
Well, I mean, her mama didn't live that far away, as I recall. So maybe it was like one of those things where can't get married with this little guy hanging on somebody else's baby. Mama, can you
Yeah,
please? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have no idea, and I don't know I guess just throwing a thought out there, could this be one of the 4 brothers? Like, could it be one of her younger brothers?
Oh, yeah, they used to do that too. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Just a thought. I
Yeah,
don't
I mean, that was very common. That was still common when I was young. Yeah. Mm,
okay. Well, are you ready to get into it?
I am.
Okay, perfect. So, Zona and Edward were married in October of 1896, and they lived on the opposite side of, is it Sewell Mountain?
Mhm.
Sewell Mountain? Sewell Mountain? Um, which was opposite of her mother lived on the other side of that mountain. Our story takes place on January 23rd of 1897. We're in Lewisburg, West Virginia, and this is about 3 months after their wedding. The neighbor boy who usually does chores for her comes inside and he sees Zona lying at the bottom of her stairs in her home. He realizes that she is not sleeping, so he runs home and he tells his mom. And then he runs to the blacksmith shop where Zona's husband, Edward, was working. Edward ran home. He was in total anguish from what the reports said. He held his wife and he was holding her head in his arms. He directed whoever was with him, I don't know that the little boy was still there, but he directed somebody to call the local doctor and coroner. The doctor and the coroner show up and they presume natural causes. They actually claim that she died of an everlasting faint, which
What?
yeah, yeah, which for them would have meant heart attack.
Listen, they went to medical school, and that's what
And
they
that's how they
learned back
wanna
then. That's
that's how they
crazy.
wanna describe a heart attack. It's crazy.
I see. Okay.
Oh my god. Alright, so she's then prepared for a burial, and her husband assists in this. He is very careful with placing her in the casket. He handles her head very carefully. He covers one side of her head with a folded up sheet and the other with an article of clothing and claims that it's to help her rest easier. He also adds a large scarf around her neck as he claims that it had been her favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was reading through this and I got where was it? It was, when it described him holding her and carefully holding her head, and then it was like, he carefully placed her head in the casket, and I was like, "Okay, something's up." You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't describe it that way, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. How is nobody seeing this? Is anybody seeing this?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
suspicious. I might not be superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Zona was then taken to the home of her mother, Mrs. Mary Jane Heaster, on nearby Big Swell Mountain. That Swell Mountain, I actually don't know where that is. I don't even know where Greenbrier is. Where is Greenbrier?
It's near well, I was gonna say it's near where Flatwoods is, the Flatwoods Monster, but you probably don't know who that is either.
I've heard of it, I just don't know where it is. I have heard of that though.
Um, it is I believe it's in the more southern part of West Virginia. I'm unsure.
Let me see. Da, da, da. Always got to pull up that Dr. Google. Sewell Mountain, West Virginia. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Sewell?
I believe it's Sewell, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
Like
who's gonna
soul, like digging the soul?
S Sewell, like
So
Sewell, like
s
Sewell. It's
soul.
Sewell. I think
S
so.
So, like, soul, like, I'm gonna go put some soul in the plants.
except it's Sewell, like Sewell Mountain.
Sewell Sewell Mountain.
Yeah.
Alright, Sewell. That's what we're doing then. Alright, where am I at in here? Virginia? Okay, so it's like okay, it's kind of, like, central southern.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I've driven I had to have driven by it when I went to oh, yeah. I passed right by, it's by Beckley.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I passed okay, okay, I know exactly where that's at. Okay. Um, okay, so she was taken to the home of her mother, jumping back into it. Um, when the casket was opened, Edward remained at the head of the casket, and the next day she was buried in a little cemetery on the hilltop. And this is when everything starts to take a turn.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. I do wanna say too, like, just to throw this out there, this is a true story. I saw some things calling it, like, a legend and, like, a folk tale. It is a true story. I actually
Mhm,
have news clippings of this. There are headstones and find my graves and everything on these people. So,
mhm.
I just wanted to throw that out there. This is true. This is a true story. All right. So, we are post-burial. Within a month of Zona being buried, it is said that Zona's spirit appeared 4 nights in a row to her mother, accusing the blacksmith, aka Edward, of her violent death. From what I remember, she, like, described it as well. Can you confirm that for me? Because I didn't really get that in some of the
So, um, I believe that she was very distraught and spent a lot of time in prayer, and, she begged for her daughter, "Please speak to me. Please tell
Yes.
me
Well,
something."
and I did see that her mother was, like, a God-fearing woman, was how she
Mhm.
was described in multiple sources.
Yeah, especially
So,
this
I
time,
believe
most
that.
of all of Appalachia was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
But I believe that she sort of leaked the information because she didn't want her mom to go straight. It
Mhm.
sounded like she sort of was like, "Okay, mama, this is what the inside of my house looks like." And she would tell her because she'd never been there. So now she can tell you things about the house that maybe dude doesn't even know because he's
Yeah.
not what was he in the basement for? What was he doing down there?
Yeah.
That's where she keeps food and she keeps things
Right.
down there for the kitchen and yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I believe that she leaked little by little and she's like, "Please tell me what happened to you because I know it wasn't a heart attack." And eventually on the 4th night, um, she said, he strangled me and broke my neck."
Okay. So
Yeah.
she
So
did give
she
details.
Mhm, yeah, and
Okay.
she according to mama, she was very descriptive on what
Okay.
her injury was. Mhm.
Okay. Well, I do know that mama takes this she gets her brother-in-law, Johnson Heaston, and they went straight to that prosecutor. John A.
Oh, that's
Preston
right.
was his name, and apparently it did take a bit of convincing, which is understandable. Took a bit of convincing, but he was eventually convinced after talking to them for a few hours that there was a basis for an investigation. A man by the name of Dr. Knapp was consulted. He was the doctor on the case. And he agreed that he might have been mistaken in his diagnosis. So, she is exhumed. And they do a lovely autopsy. During this time, they also get a little background on Edward Trout, Edward, whatever. They do find that he actually served a term in the penitentiary. Apparently, that was for stealing a horse. I don't know. That was the only piece of information I found on that.
I mean, you could get murdered for that, and
Yeah.
it would be justified. Like,
I
you can't leave
mean,
somebody stranded with no way to get away from whatever they need to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like a death sentence sometimes.
Yeah. Well, this is also when they find out that Shu was married twice previously. Sorry, Edward Trout. His last name was Shu. He was married previously twice. This is where research comes in because some of the initial sources that I use, they're like, both wives died under strange circumstances. That is inaccurate. His first wife actually divorced him. She got married to another gentleman at some point in time. I don't know, but she lived, I think she lived in to be in her 70s, maybe. Um, so they do find out he was married twice previously, but they do also find out that he was abusive. So when Allie Cutlip divorced him, her claim was abuse. And we know that Lucy Ann Tritt died, and that brings us to the rock incident because his story was she tripped and hit her head on a rock. What we apparently find out is that she was helping him repair a chimney. He was on top of the chimney, and his wife was placing rocks in a basket with a rope attached to it. And when the basket was drawn up, it somehow turned and dropped the rocks on her head.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She didn't trip and hit a rock. She got hit with a rock
She
and
got
fell
hit with a
out.
rock. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's m a really brutal way to go.
God, I know. Well, as she was exhumed, he apparently vigorously complained, which was part of what was released by it was called the Greenbrier Independent. They said that he vigorously complained about the exhumation, but he did make it clear that he would be forced to attend if he did not go to the inquest willingly. So he was going, whether he wanted to or not. His rebuttal
Yeah.
to that was, "But they will not be able to prove I did it."
How do you say you did it without saying that you did
Y like, okay, so you know something.
it?
So you know something. Like, even if he didn't do it, which we know he did, but I'm just saying, like, even if he didn't do it, okay, so you know who did and you still didn't say anything. He did it. Spoiler alert. Anyways, so the autopsy findings were damning. Um, the Greenbrier Independent posted on March 9th that what they found was her neck was broken, her windpipe was mashed, and she had finger marks on her neck indicating that she was choked. Her neck was dislodged between the first and second vertebrae, ligaments were torn and ruptured, and her windpipe was crushed at a point in the front of the neck. These findings obviously were made public, and Edward was arrested and charged with murder.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so definitely lined up with what she told her mama.
Yeah, mama wasn't lying.
From everything that I saw, mama was a strong woman.
Mhm.
Edward was taken to a jail at Lewisburg, jail in Lewisburg. I don't know if they have more than one, but he was held here until his indictment by a grand jury and to the trial in June. On June 22nd, 1897 was when he got his guilty verdict after only 1 hour and 10 minutes of deliberation. The Greenbrier Independent, which this is what we talked about earlier, apparently they posted that it was made clear that he was convicted of the murder based on circumstantial evidence, not a quote unquote ghost testimony. He was sentenced to life in prison. There was a lynching attempt a few days after his sentencing. So he was actually moved. He was taken to the state prison in Moundsville, which is where he died on March 1st, 1900.
Yeah, I think there was some kinda wasn't there some kind of pandemic or something? Um, I don't know what it
Pandemic.
was. It was some kind of flu or something that ran through the prison. That's how he died.
Oh, that
He
makes
got some
sense.
close quarters cooties. Yeah.
Well, good riddance. Oops.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah.
Um, as of today, though, I did want to make note of this as well. In 1991, the West Virginia Department of Culture and History erected a highway sign near the small town of Smoot, West Virginia. It is off of the Midland Trail West Road, which is US 60, and it's zero point 0.1 miles south of exit 156, which is Sam Black Church exit and Interstate 64. Pause.
What's happening?
Can you see me fighting my demons over here? So I just wanted to throw those details in there that I found just in case anybody who listens knows where that is or what's going on. If anybody knows what's going on, if anybody wants to go
It
see
went
it,
on. It went on a long
it
time
went
ago.
on. It went on. Anyways, this highway sign reads interred interred in nearby cemetery is Zona Heaster Shoe. Her death in 1897 was presumed natural until her spirit appeared to her mother to describe how she was killed by her husband, Edward. Autopsy on the exhumed body verified the apparition's account. Edward, found guilty of murder, was sentenced to the state prison. Oh, so they do have on this sign as well, only known case in which testimony from ghost helped convict a murderer, which we've already already talked about that, but
Well, I mean, maybe there was more than 1 or 2 or 10.
yeah, I don't worry guys, we're going to figure this out for once and all for all. Oh, I also put in here other nearby markers because I thought this was interesting. Again, I don't know much about that area. Um, but some of the other nearby markers within about a 7-mile radius include Sam Black Church, Maxon Sand, Rupert, Blue Sulphur Springs Confederate Burial Ground, the Pavilion, Blue Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, Andrew and Charles Lewis March, Unknown Soldiers / General Lewis's Trace, and there's a missing one. I guess it was Fort Donnelly / Border Heroes, and it's missing.
What do you mean it's missing? Why don't they just put another one back up?
I don't know, but I also somebody took it? I'm confused.
I mean, that's what I would assume is that somebody took it. I mean, what else happened to it? It didn't evaporate. Somebody had to steal it.
I yeah, that's really weird. Why would somebody steal that though?
Mm, unsure.
Hmm. Well, I did find, like I said, some newspaper clips and I threw them in here. I'll send you all of this and I'll actually post all of this as well. Um, Make sure you're following us on TikTok and Instagram at the Chamber of Shadows. Throw that in there now. Um, so it was labeled as ghost solved crime. And it reads, there's an area ghost story that will knock down a bit more than that of Banco's ghost. It is the oft-told tale that was but recently printed in a Charleston publication known as The Moonlighter, the brainchild of a brace of fellows down Kanawha Riverway.
Kanala.
Kanawha?
Uh-huh.
Kanawha. Oops. It has been told time and again in the Beckley Post Herald. So, listen, my children, and you shall hear anew some of the story of the ghost, Mrs. Zona Heaster Shue, the ill-fated girl of Livesay's Mew, a little settlement in Meadow Bluff District in Greenbrier County. There's a little bit under this that I can read. You'll see what I mean when I it's like focused on that one area, but there's also L- Livesay. Is it Livesay? Livesay?
It's Lissay sounds right. Sounds
Livesay?
right.
Okay. Livesay gets its name from William Livesay. Edward Trout Shoe, an ex-convict, former resident of Pocahontas County, came to Livesay to work in the blacksmith shop of James Cruikshank. And then it says there was some talk about Shoe, but it was a bit sub, and then it goes away. Um, Another clip that I found says, when Andy Jones reached the Shoe home, he was astonished to find Mrs. Shoe on the floor, stone dead. Her eyes were open in a death stare, and Andy Jones left the scene fast. He excitedly told his mother, who first thought Mrs. Shoe had fallen down, but then came to feel that maybe she was dead. Another clipping says, she testified the dead girl returned 4 times. Then the mother was told by the dead girl that Edward Shue had killed her. Mary Heaster told of the weird experiences. When she told that the spirit said Shue had killed his wife, it swept over the Greenbrier country. So,
Well, I do also remember that that little boy testified that when he found her, she was stiff and cold.
okay. Did
And
he touch her?
I think he tripped on her. I think he fell on her. I know, what a terrifying thing for a little kid to do. But anyway,
God.
he said that she was stiff and cold, and then I immediately, before I read not one more sentence, this has been years ago, but I was like, well, rigor takes 12 hours. So she's been laying there for 12 hours. How long's he been at
Oh,
work?
God. I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, did he just leave her? Maybe he did it the night before and left
Mhm.
her?
Mhm. I'm sure that's what he did.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
because rigor
just
can last 24 to 48 hours. So, yeah.
ugh. That if nobody has experienced rigor, it's so disturbing.
Agreed. Yeah.
There's something about rigor mortis that does not sit right with me. Like, because 'cause I've seen it obviously with animals in that industry, but it's just I mean, I will never remember the woman who brought the puppy in to the place that we worked, and she was begging our doctor to fix it and make it alive again, and it
I
was
mean,
already I
mm,
mean, I yeah.
it's really hard when they're um very emotional. When they're
Yeah.
it's really hard to reason with them
Yes.
that
Well,
honey,
and
he's stiff. He gone.
yeah.
It's hard, and it's hard to watch their faces. Like somebody is telling them this little thing that I love is gone and ain't coming back. Like it's
Well,
terrible.
it's I mean, everybody deals with death very differently as well. So, you just have some of those people who they can't. They can't comprehend it, they can't experience a euthanasia, like, they are not doing it.
Yeah.
So, I can't imagine a little boy coming and tripping and
Over a
over a
human
human.
that he liked. He
Yeah,
liked her. He came and helped her and done I mean, I know he was
yeah,
doing it for money, but he liked her. He liked her company. He was keeping
yeah.
busy, making a little jingling. Yeah. That's
Ugh,
terrible. Mhm.
God. I and like I said in the beginning, there was a lot of there was a lot of research in this, and it's very important. I'm gonna reiterate it, Lord. Um, it's very, very important to do your own research and find accurate sources as well. Um, because it's very easy to see things on the internet and believe it to be true.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I know people who will send me videos and I'm like, "You know this isn't accurate, right?"
Wait. Like that Bigfoot you shared with me
Oh
this
my
morning?
god.
I'm like,
That
that looks like
Bigfoot
Mima fucking knitted him a one-piece hoodie sweater. I
when
don't know
I
what
was
that was.
when I was doing research for this episode, one of the the things that I was on, the sources that I was on, led me to a link for West Virginia something. And the first thing my eyes locked on, hold up, I just need to pull up what it like, what the title was, because I remember seeing something about Bigfoot, and I was like, "Where is it?" Oh, Bigfoot sightings near Sutton, West Virginia have historic precedent. And it's this, like, I mean, it literally looks like a man wearing some kind of, like, suit of, like, leaves or something.
It's
Like,
not a ghillie suit, though. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I
It
swear
looks
to God, I
crazy.
can see his hairline.
I know. Mhm.
Where's my thing? Like, look at him. Look at that hairline.
What is happening? That's
Like,
an awful
that's
picture.
oh my god. And that is not, like, let me also say a huge believer in Bigfoot.
Bitch, you just said my government
I sure
name.
did. Endora! I'll edit it out, it's fine.
How are you gonna call me by my government name? That's for the government.
It's
Enough.
'cause I was reading it. Oh my god. Endora. Oh, yes, if this is your first episode listening, we we try to maintain a semblance of privacy, so Selene and Endora are not our real names. Just throwing that out there.
In case you were wondering,
In case you were
if my
wondering.
if my mama named me some kind of crazy name or somebody or a stripper name or whatever you think that is.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So anyways, yes, Endora is a huge believer in Bigfoot. I'm not saying that I'm not. I think I'm just not a believer in the same way that you and Oobs are. But
Yeah.
well, how do you feel about the Greenbrier Ghost overall?
Well, I feel like I support mama and I think that was really I think that really happened, but even if it
Yeah.
didn't and she was just like why y'all got big ass scarves tied around my daughter's
Yeah.
neck and like all this and I'm not allowed to touch her and nobody can touch her and even if she just cooked on that and was finally like that's it.
Right.
How am I going to make him believe me? I know. I'll tell him that the ghost told me and make
But
him dig up my
she also
daughter.
had the details though.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
So, and again, I feel like it's important to reiterate, this is a true story. This is
Yeah,
not a folklore and, there are believers in this, there are not believers in this. This
right.
is a true story.
Yeah.
Um,
True crime and paranormal meet, that doesn't happen every day.
no. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it does now.
It certainly does more than one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I think this is something I'm interested to learn more about. I really enjoyed learning about this. I mean, like I said, there was so much. Every time I looked something up, 10 more things came up that I was like, "Ooh, I need to look this up. I need to look that up." Like I saw the first thing I saw was that he had murdered his other 2 wives. And then I started doing more research and I was like, his other wife doesn't even have the same last name as him. 'Cause I was I was looking. I don't remember exactly what it was. It started with an M. Oh, I think it was Macmillan. I think that's what it was. I think she ended up being Allie Cutlet McMillan. So I was like, she doesn't even have the same last name as him, but it says she died in this year, and this is way after what happened. So I was like, okay, so again, having to kind of filter through some information. She I don't know. I saw his daughter's name, and I did not put it in here on purpose, but I did see the daughter's name. I don't know what happened with the daughter.
His daughter from his first marriage?
Yes.
Oh, probably just taken in by the
I
next
yeah,
husband.
I
Yeah.
assume, yeah, that she, yeah, did that.
Yeah, she's better off for it.
So,
But I hate
oh,
it when they take a
100%.
story that's already good and try to make it better by adding
Right,
some bullshit.
right.
Why? Why are
Well,
you
we
doing
know he
that?
was abusive, right? We know he was abusive, that's why his first wife left him.
And he was a thief.
He was a thief. He killed his second wife, whether it's on paper or not. There's no way, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. There's no way that he was abusing his first wife, he murdered his third wife, and he didn't have anything to do with the death of his second wife.
Oh
How
no.
convenient.
I don't care what anybody
Yeah.
says. He's
Even if it wasn't in the story that I found, if it wasn't in the aspect of, she was helping him and a rock fell out of the basket conveniently. Even if it wasn't like that, regardless, circumstances, circumstances, that's all. Goodbye. Like, circumstances.
yeah.
There's no way. You can't convince me otherwise. There are some things that just
Yeah. No way.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. But if you live down there and you know some other things that you would like to share, we would love to hear them.
Yes!
You
Or
can
if you've
send them.
even been to the area and just had comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't care. I want to hear it all, don't you?
Yeah, same.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. I want to hear what you think about our podcast. I want to know
Only if you
what
like it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
I mean,
picking.
if you have general suggestions for some change, we're okay with that too. Um, but we're not going to be mean to be anybody here on any of our
No.
platforms in any way. Um, just don't be mean. Don't be a dick. You don't
Yeah.
have to. It's not necessary. You can just click. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye.
That's
Yeah.
fine. If we're not
Yeah.
your cup of tea, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
totally fine. I
but
will say I have already received at least 2 other case suggestions, so I need to look into those. But if anybody has case suggestions, feel
where can we
free
send them?
feel free to email them to us at thechamberofshadows@gmail.com, or you can message us on TikTok or Instagram as well. That's totally fine. I am going to be putting up a video with some images from the Greenbrier Ghost. So
Oh,
for anybody that's interested,
right
I
on.
will throw a little video together. I am no videographer. Please know that.
Ugh.
But I'm going to get them up for people to see. So definitely make sure you take a look at that after you've listened to this. And I think that's all. Is that all?
Yeah, I think it is all. Unless you wanna do you wanna say what we're doing next week? No? You're making a
No.
face. Okay. Okay. It's a
Nope, I don't.
secret.
I will say I put a poll on my personal Instagram just to see what people were more interested in learning about. So I'm doing the one that won out. We're gonna do the other one regardless. I mean, I'll spill the beans on that one. The one we're not doing next week is Black Eyed Children, but that is on the list. That is on the list for us to do.
Hey.
It just didn't win out for next week, and that's totally fine. So, with that being
Oh,
said,
Selene has a secret.
ew, I hate it. With that,
Bye,
good
y'all.
luck, Charlie.
See you next week.
Bye.